You cannot manifest if you don't regulate your nervous system. I can guarantee you, if you've been doing all the manifestation work, if you've been showing up, visualizing, scripting, you name it, and it's not been working, it's because your nervous system is not ready to receive what it is that you want. Or maybe you've even received what it is that you want, but you were unable to hold it. This is what I see is the missing piece for so many people who want to manifest big things, but their body isn't actually safe of receiving that thing in the first place. Or again, you might receive it, but then you find ways to sabotage yourself or to not actually hold the very thing that you've created. Now, you might come at me and you might say, yes, but in manifestation, there are no timelines. Time does not exist, which technically it's true. If we're talking about manifestation and if we go deeper into the concept of quantum physics and quantum jumping, yes, your life can change in an instance. If you truly believe your life could change tomorrow, your life could change tomorrow. In quantum physics, we know that any reality that you desire exists and you could attract that reality. You could jump into that reality very quickly if you wanted to. And I have a lot of proof myself in my life where my life would change very quickly. But the number one thing that people miss when it comes to manifestation is that at the end of the day, we are still human beings with human experiences, past experiences, traumas, bad experiences, good experiences, all of that, the things that we've ever experienced, it leaves an energetic imprint in our bodies. It programs your subconscious mind. So if we know manifestation is creating through our thought and thinking about what it is that we want in our mind and then creating that in reality, we also have to know that the things that we think are a result of our past experiences. That's why I do not believe in positive thinking. Actually, I call it toxic positivity. Because if you've been through experiences that have formed beliefs that are making you see the world in a certain way, because we all see the world through a filter of our wounds and through our past experiences, unless you've decided to already heal it, right? And I'm touching my glasses because that's supposed to mean the filter. We all see the world through the filter of our wounds and our past experiences. So if we know that, we also know just thinking positive thoughts is actually bypassing the thing that we need to look at first. And that is why manifestation alone takes longer, can take longer, and oftentimes people actually are really struggling to manifest what it is that they want. Now, you manifest all the time. This is where this concept becomes a little bit tricky because manifestation is not when you decide to manifest. You're manifesting all the time because you're thinking all the time. And so if we know that you're manifesting all the time, that also means that your current reality is a mirror of your internal world. That means you're constantly thinking thoughts based on what you think is real, who you think you are, what you think you deserve, again, how you see the world. And so if we know that we're constantly manifesting, we can actually look at the external world and see this as a mirror to our internal world. And that also means that we can take our power back in realizing that, yes, we are the creator of our reality, but we also have to take responsibility for the things that we are creating, for the good and the not so good things. This is where I truly invite you to be more aware of your patterns and of your actual beliefs. If you know that the external world is a mirror to your internal world, ask yourself right now, what result do I have right now in my life that I don't like? For example, lack of money. And then you ask yourself, actually, what am I believing about money to be true? What am I believing about the lack of money to be true? What am I believing about my current situation? This will allow you to actually start thinking deeper than just bypassing the very thing, because bypassing would mean, oh yeah, I actually attract money and I love money and all of this. But then when you see the money going down on your bank account, you feel anxiety and you feel lack and you actually freaking are scared because you don't know how you're gonna pay rent the next day. That is a discrepancy between positive thinking, trying to outthink the actual underlying fear that is going on. And this, my friends, is the nervous system. The nervous system will always try to keep you safe. But the nervous system does not care about your dreams or your goals and your aspirations. All that your nervous system thinks about is, how can I keep this person safe, based on past experiences that your nervous system associates with safety. In the example of money, if you grew up with a family that didn't have a lot of money, that maybe was fighting a lot about money, maybe there was a lot of secrets about money, this is what your nervous system now associates still as safety. And I know it doesn't make sense, because maybe today you're like, but I want to be a millionaire, I want to make a lot of money. But if your nervous system has learned money is not safe, money leads to fights, we never have enough money, this is what your nervous system associates with safety. So if you're stepping outside of that safety and you're all of a sudden creating more money, your nervous system is going to kick in. It's going to be like, hold on, this is not safe. We've never been here before. It will bring you back to your old self. It will bring you back to what you've always believed is true about money. This is happening oftentimes in subtle ways, in an unconscious way. The most important thing is to not judge yourself about the thing that you're thinking or believing, or about the thing that you're doing. It's just about recognizing that your body ultimately is always trying to protect you. But your body, your nervous system, does not want the goals that your conscious mind wants. Your nervous system does not think, yay, I want to be a millionaire and have 100,000 followers and have all these people watch me. Your nervous system is like, damn, if I have all these people watch me, what if they think I'm stupid? What if they think I'm not capable? What if they think that I don't deserve this? That is what your nervous system does. Now, if you feel like this is something that you actually struggle with, the fear of being seen, fear of being perceived by a lot of people, I actually have a free masterclass come up this week. You can sign up with the link in my bio, where I'm going to be able to go deeper into this. It's part of the nervous system. And this is why, if you don't heal your trauma, if you don't heal those experiences that have created an energetic imprint on your body and in your subconscious mind, you will keep recreating the same unwanted result over and over and over again. Now, of course, you can create manifestations without looking at the subconscious mind, without looking at your nervous system. It is possible. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's going to take you longer. It might actually feel extremely unsafe in your body. It might feel like you are running a million miles an hour without catching your breath. And it can actually create more stress and more unwanted things that you actually don't want in your life. I'm going to give you this example that will demonstrate how important looking inside really is. A couple of years ago, I want to say like 6 years ago, my friend and I, she is also a coach. I'm a coach. We both started working with this mindset coach. And I started working with that mindset coach because of her results. So she started working with this mindset coach. She's like a manifestation, law of attraction mindset coach. And my friend has incredible results. She makes way more money. Like she 10 times is her, is that a word? 10 times is her money. She makes 10 times more money all of a sudden in a month. She moves to this like $1 million villa, and she's like living this crazy life because she worked with this mindset coach. And I'm like, well, I want that too. There must be something I'm missing here. There must be something I'm not understanding. And so I sign up with the same mindset coach. Guess what? I'm not getting the results she is. Why? Because when I looked at her and I looked at me, first of all, human beings are not linear beings. We are holistic. We have so many aspects to ourselves. So I looked at her past. I looked at my past. I looked at the work she has done, and I looked at the work I have done. She has been in this inner work game for the last 10 years. I have not. It has still been a very new thing. I've been doing the inner work. I've been doing the manifestation, but not as in-depth as she has. She has had quite some things that happened to her in her life, so she had to speed up this process. And so the perfect timing for her was when she joined that coach and she had all these incredible results, whereas I didn't. Did that make me wrong? Was it the coach's fault? No, it wasn't. I was trying to bypass something that I actually needed to look at first. I needed to look at within me what was going on rather than trying to outwork what was actually happening on a deeper level. And so I remember I blamed myself. I remember I spent all this money with this mindset coach and I can't get the same results she's getting. And I thought to myself, what is it that I'm doing wrong? And I know that during this time, a lot of people felt exactly the same in this coaching container with me. And actually my friend became a success story, right? She became the success story. She has had incredible results, one of the most incredible results from the entire coaching container. Did that mean that all these other people, including myself, were wrong? No. We just had to really understand that if I were all of a sudden back then to move into $1 million villa, my body wouldn't have been able to handle that. I grew up without a lot of money in a 2-bedroom apartment with my parents. So moving all of a sudden from this space to a much bigger space would have completely wrecked me. And I actually have an example of when this happens to me. A couple of years later, once my business picked up and I started to make the money that I wanted, for the first time in my life, my partner and I, we decided to actually look for a much bigger apartment than what we were living in before. So as I said, I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I had a super tiny room my entire life. And then after that, as I studied, I would always be like in the smallest room possible. And then when I moved to Berlin, I was in a very, very small apartment together with my partner. It was a 1-bedroom apartment and we shared that. You know, I worked in a living room, he worked in a bedroom. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But my nervous system was used to living in small spaces, not paying a lot of rent. That was who I was. And then as I started to get more success in my business, I felt this need of like, I want expansion. I want to try something new. We found this beautiful apartment that was a lot bigger than anything I've ever lived in. And we decided to sign the contract. And I remember the first 4 to 5 months, and it was a 1-year contract. The first 4 to 5 months, I hated being there. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I didn't deserve it. I sabotaged my business. I sabotaged my relationship with my partner. I was picking fights with him because I couldn't hold how much good just came to me. My inner child, that younger version of myself who's never experienced anything like this before, was like, who do you think you are to live in this space? And I remember I had a lot of conversations with my partner and I was like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be here. Who am I to live like this? And it really wrecked me up and it made me realize so much how my nervous system was actually holding me back from inviting more good and from allowing the good that I already attracted to be there and to fully live it. And that is why the nervous system work is so important. It shows up really in the subtle ways. You start to sabotage, you start to believe you don't deserve it, you start to find ways to not show up for work, to procrastinate. Like it shows up in all these subtle ways that then create the bigger picture of not getting the result that you want, or realizing like, damn, I'm not where I want to be, or it's not what I want it to be. And so I'm sharing these stories with you to really make you understand that yes, you can manifest things quickly, impossibly quickly, but your nervous system needs to be on the same page. Your body needs to actually feel safe, feel deserving of the thing that you're creating, of the thing that you're manifesting. Again, if you're interested in joining my free masterclass, Heal the Fear of Being Seen, the link is in my bio. I would love to see you there. Let me know down below what resonated of this video. If it resonated, I would really love to hear from you. It always makes me so happy when I see a comment from you guys. Sending you so much love. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more similar videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.